Scientific Study of RIG VEDA, Class 70. Now we are going to go through the Sooktha 3 in Mandal-1. In this Sooktha, Mandras 1 to 3 are in connection with the Devata. Let us see what is the Devata there. Thereafter we can go through it. First try to understand what is this Devata. So go through the Sooktha.
RIGVEDam Mandal-1 Sooktham 3-1 Rishi Madhu Chandasa Devata Ashinigal.
Here the Devata is Ashwini Kumaranmar. Ashwin means horse, sons of horse, like that. Ashwini Kumaranmar. There are two. From this Veda, it is very difficult to understand what is this Ashwini Kumaranmar. In Mandras, these are given in very few sentences, few mantras, means more few words or sentences. But to know what is Ashwini Kumaranmar, we should go to Purana story. Then only we can understand what it is as per based on modern science. From there we can, that story we can see at the end. From there we can see that it is the force. So this force is related with the physics, engineering, etc. in application. So in engineering subjects, in physics or in application, the one of the important term is the force. Thus, force is the Devata here. That is, we are going through engineering subject, physics, like that. What is the force? How it can be analyzed, how it can be used, how it can be applied, like that. So, Ashwini Kumaranmar is the force. Now, in physics or engineering, we are dealing with this term force. Before starting the study of force, we are first going through a law, that is triangular law of forces. As per triangular law, we know, suppose there is a stone, a big stone, and a number of persons are applying force in different directions. We want to know in which direction it will move. It is not possible to decide if we take all these forces. Let us consider this. This is the body. We are applying forces in different directions. In which direction this body will move, it is not easy to calculate, analyze, because different types of forces. This is the strength is 8, here it is 2 or 7, it may be 4, it may be 3, or like that. So all these forces are to be replaced by a single force, that is resultant of this force. If a number of persons are, for example, if we are pulling in two directions, 5 persons in this direction and 8 persons in this direction, row, catching at one end a number of persons and the other end there are a number of persons, they are pulling in the opposite direction. In which direction it will fall? The resultant force. If there are 5 persons and let us think about the force is 5. In this side there are 8 persons and the force is 8. Then which direction it will go? In this direction, because 5 here 5 here 5. These are in opposite direction. Though 5 and 5 cancels each other. So the excess is 3 in this side. So it will move in this direction with the 3 forces. That is the resultant force. Likewise, these forces are to be replaced by a single force, and that force is called the resultant force, and then we can say the body will move in this direction, in that direction. So in this triangular law, consider there are 2 forces. There are 2 forces. This is the force with the strength 8. This is the forces with the strength 2. How to calculate these 2 are replaced by a single force? How we can calculate, analyze this one? There comes the triangular law. That means this force is 8. This is in this direction. This force is 2 in this direction. So this can be placed here. So we get this can be placed here. Thus we get 8 in this direction, 2 in this direction. Then the resultant force will be the direction of the third force, this one. That is the triangular law. Here this is 8, this is 2. Then these 2 can be replaced by a single force. That is and its magnitude is the length. Draw a triangle with the 8 length, 2 length, and join this one and measure this length. If it is 9, then the body will, if we apply 2 forces in the direction, body will move in this direction with this length is 9. So with a force of 9. So 2 forces can be replaced by a single one. Likewise, taking 2, in this case, taking these 2 first and find the resultant. Then with that resultant compare this with taking this. Then these 2 are a resultant and this one. Then we get another resultant. Then that resultant with this one, we will get another resultant. If that resultant is acting in this direction, if these 4 are replaced by a single force, then this body will move in this direction, that resultant direction. In engineering, most of the calculations are based on these things, these forces. So, from this triangular law, if 2 forces are acting on the sides of a triangle, then the resultant can be treated as the third side. In reverse, it can be treated in the reverse way also. If there is only one force, suppose there is a force, this force, this can be divided into 2. This force is acting in two ways. One is in horizontal direction, one in vertical direction. Horizontal direction and one in vertical direction. So here two forces are replaced by the diagonal. In the other case, if there is a force in this direction, this can be considered as two forces, one acting in the horizontal direction, one acting in the vertical direction. So each force can be represented by two forces, one acting in the horizontal direction and the other in the vertical direction. So it is a pair. A force in engineering, in physics, we are considering it as a pair with two forces, one acting in the horizontal direction and one acting in the vertical direction. That means if we want to move a stone from here to this place, we can move it in the, using this force we can move in this direction. Here there is a stone. By pulling it in this direction with this force, we can move in the direction. It is not necessary to use this force. We can also use these components too. This can be considered as two forces, one in the horizontal direction, the other in the vertical direction. So we can first move the body in this direction using this force. Here this stone. First move it in this direction using this force. After applying this, we can move this body in this direction, vertical direction, with this force. Then also we will reach this point. Instead of using this force to move this body from here to here, it is not necessary to use that force. This force can be divided into two. One is in the horizontal direction, one is in the vertical direction. First calculate that for horizontal force and move it using that force, move it in this direction. After reaching this, use the second force which is in the vertical direction, then we can move it in the reach the same point. So this force can be replaced by one horizontal and vertical. So instead of going in this way, we can go horizontally and then go vertically. We will reach the point, that is analytical geometry, analytical mathematics. We are using this technology in engineering and physics to analyze all the forces. Its application is in numerical control machines. In all machines, this movement of the machine is based on this coordinate principle. We can see the rockets or these missiles moving in this way. In the YouTube you can see the missile, how it is, let's watch how it is moving. It is moving in this way, not moving straightly. If it moves in a straight path, the opposite enemy can apply a force and fire and target that missile. To attack it, it is very easy. But if it is moving in this way, it is difficult in which direction it is moving. That is coordinate geometry, horizontal, vertical. Likewise, calculating all the programming in this way, we can finally reach at the same point. So, to reach at the point from here, there is one way, go horizontal, then vertical. The person will not think he is moving in this direction. Oh, he is going somewhere else. So first move in this direction, then just travel in the upward direction. In this way, we can move in this direction, 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 in this direction. Finally, we can reach here. That is coordinate geometry, and the fundamental theory behind this is each force can be considered, divided into, can be split into, resolved into two forces. One is in the horizontal direction, one is in the vertical direction. So in engineering and physics, we are resolving all forces in the horizontal direction and vertical direction. That is horizontal component and vertical component. So a force consists of two forces. It is the resultant of two forces. One is the horizontal component, that is and the other one is the vertical component. So it is easy to analyze, apply, and calculate its direction, magnitude, resultant force. So if there are a number of forces acting on a bounded body, all these can be replaced by analyzing horizontal and vertical, and after adding all these horizontal and vertical, we will get a resultant. So all these forces can be replaced by a single force. Then study become very easy. The method is analyze all forces are split into two components, one horizontal and vertical. Each force has two components, one horizontal and vertical. So divide all these forces into horizontal and vertical. So first add all these horizontal components, then add all these vertical components. Then we will get a number which is horizontal. Then the sum is the resultant, second one. These two. Then the diagonal is the resultant force. So we will get only one force. That is the way we are using in physics and engineering. So since this is in two pair, that is called Ashwini Kumaranma. That is force. Ashwa means horse. Horse means force. In modern science also, we are measuring the force as horsepower. It is comparing with the horse. Horse is the force. So it is called the Ashwini. Ashwa means horse, or sons. They are twins. So Ashwini Kumaranmar means these are forces. So in the engineering in science, the one important Devata is the force, that is Ashwini Kumaranmar. They can be resolved into two, so they are acting in two. There are two components, they are dual, they are twins. Each force consists of two forces. One is acting in the horizontal direction, one in the vertical direction. That's it, Ashwini Kumaranmar. The most important force in this universe is the action of this force coming out from the attractive force coming out from the sun. So the most important force in this universe is the force of attraction from the sun. So in Purana stories, Ashwini Kumaranmar is characterized as the sons of this star, our Surya or sun. And this is the force, attractive force that influencing us. Because this force can be, it is in twins. That is acting in two directions. One is in the horizontal direction, one is in the upward direction. Horizontal direction means along the Earth's surface. This force is acting through our nervous system, and it creates a driving force in us to move in the horizontal direction and in the vertical direction. In the horizontal direction means along the Earth's surface, or to do karma in the horizontal direction, and the force in the vertical direction is to move upwards. Sometimes we are moving in the, it is not easy to move upwards from the Earth's surface, but while we are traveling in aeroplane or in rocket, that is possible. So it will influencing us in two ways. This direct upward force is influencing our mind. The horizontal force is also influencing our mind. Our thinking, everything is related with this, and based on this thinking we are doing some karma that are influenced by these two types of forces that is coming out from the sun in the form of attraction. These are acting through our nervous system. That is why in generally we are moving in one direction in the morning, that is towards office or anything like that, because sun is in the left side, in the east. In the evening it is in the west, in the opposite direction. The horizontal force is in the opposite direction, that is we are coming back, and likewise that is influencing. The birds are moving in from away from the nest and coming back toward the tree in the evening. But this is not the force coming out from the sun only. There are a number of planets, there are a number of stars in the universe. All these are influencing us. So a number of forces are acting on our nervous system, and the resultant of this is forcing us to move in which direction it is to be moved. And this is also based on the plan which is attached with the planetary system. That plan is called Paramatma. That plan, based on our power plan, this is influencing our mind, our body function, everything. That is why this Ashwini Kumaran Mark is the universal doctor also. They are controlling the activities of our body. Now, there is a story in the Puranas in connection with this Ashwini Kumaran Mark that we can see in the next class.